Savor the moment.
Sip the story.
Welcome to Wuxiaworld's Tea House. I'm your host, Yojj.
And I'm Tokki.
Welcome back to our nepotism episode with Dan, Open Bookworm, Momo, and Yojj. If you haven't listened to part 1, go take a listen to episode 12.
Well, we have 2 translators, 1 editor. Do you guys have any challenges translating your novel? Is it difficult, different working with the co-translator, you think?
I think the very first difficulty that came from me was the fact that you really have to think to yourself to balance, like, how much are you adding and how much are you how can you keep to the spirit of the thing without changing it too much? Because in Korean there's a lot of words where there's implied context that you can't really understand without understanding Korean. So you have to add in a lot of stuff, but then you feel guilty about whether you're adding in too much. So yeah, that's a difficult balance for me. So
that's absolutely correct. Korean it really does feel like a very implication-heavy language.
Yeah, I guess I could add to that. I think there are cultural nuances that don't translate well from Korean to English. And another challenge I think I found just throughout my career as a translator too, it's just all the authors have a very distinct style of writing, and some styles do present as more difficult to translate into English. Not saying that one's better than the other, but just the process of translation.
Oh, trust me, Dan. One is definitely better than the other.
Oh, but we gotta be politically neutral here. You guys literally have on the script. Don't avoid any sensitive and controversial topics.
We do.
Anyhow,
that was edited in by Momo.
Maybe that was edited in by Momo.
No, I did not do that.
No, I put that in.
Yeah, Tokki put that in there.
Well,
the rules portion, it was all Tokki.
Anyway,
I would have removed it. Be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that rule was set for myself because there were a dozen of times that Yojj was telling me you're not supposed to say things like that.
Maybe not. Maybe not that. See, at one point in time, I was thinking maybe we want someone a little bit more diplomatic with their words. But now that we have Dan on the podcast, I think I like Tokki's.
It's because I'm also
mouth diarrhea.
I've been taught to be very sensitive over the last 4 years, just because healthcare. You have to be very politically careful. You have to tread very carefully. So it's just ingrained in me. Okay.
Okay.
Imagine
my brother will learn
someone
that
ask
soon.
you, the guardian ask you, Doctor, will my son make it? I cannot really say first.
well, what do you mean by make it?
You'll not make it. Do what you want with the information. Can you just please tell me, is it a yes or a no?
I cannot.
The chances are very slim, but he has a very high chance of surviving.
Oh dear. I know Tokki struggled with LUA because of the content and whatnot. Did you guys struggle in particular with the novel content? Because I know it's very fantasy-like. Thankfully, it's not modern warfare. That would be a little bit more difficult in my opinion.
No, it wasn't the content for me. It was just the very long chapters. It just, just that. That's what led me to be going behind so many times. You muster up motivation, and you try to finish a chapter, only for it to take more than a few hours, and I'll get back to it some other time, and so I'm very thankful that I have co-translators.
That's right. In the beginning, we had really, really long chapters. So that was why it led to management's decision to split the chapters in half. So yeah, readers, it was not our translator's decision. It was management's decision for the sake of our translators. Okay?
Thank you.
We decided to decide.
So much.
Yeah, I know. You guys got all the hate for the management's decision. We decided to split it in half because the chapters were almost double, if not triple, sometimes the length of a normal chapter. So management decided to cut each chapter in half,
which readers would love.
And then the readers kind of rioted about that. So we threw out a poll. So we decided with 4 chapters a week equaling 14,000 words, which is on average what a normal novel's chapter count, word count would be per week. And then because our translators and our editors are very generous, we kind of extended that. So now our readers have like a 5th chapter, maybe even a bonus 6th at times. So yeah, that is our translators and editors. So you guys should say thank you to them.
Hey Dan, can you tell our readers if they're gonna get a 6th chapter for the week?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Well, we had one last week, so.
Dan, I mean, I'm over here trying to like, make you guys seem good, look great.
Oh yeah.
So, come on.
Give the readers what they want is what I say.
Whoa, that's too much.
I am here advocating for 10 chapters every week.
Go back to being political, hush. No, go back to being politically. No, stop. Be your diplomatic self again. Never mind. Shoo.
Thank God you're in healthcare, not politics.
He'd be too good at it. I don't think I would like that.
I do have something I don't like. I don't know. Maybe actually, I'll just cross that out.
What don't you like? No. Okay, well,
yeah.
You're evil. Now
I
I'm
am.
curious.
No. Maybe I'll tell you privately later.
I'll hold you to that. If I remember.
Is it about the novel?
It's just the styling is sometimes a little. How political is this? How sensitive do I have to be?
Well, if you
Anywhere
really
less than
decide
me is fine.
Okay. It's just the way that the author writes some things in Korean may make sense in Korean, but it makes absolutely no sense in English.
So again, a little bit of cultural and a little bit of implication, kind of an issue there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing that the author
Are
is
those
wrong.
the
That sounds
times
like
when
a first world problem. That sounds like a first world problem because the author of the novel I was working with, it wasn't even making sense with Korean.
That is a very fair point.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad answer at all, Dan, because it just highlights the differences between Korean and English. And like, again, as a translator, that's something that everyone kind of struggles through.
It's just worse in this novel than some of the other novels I've worked with.
Okay.
Interesting, because as I edit, I don't see much of that reflected in the text. But there are times when I have no idea what this means.
I feel you. I feel the same.
Yeah.
Dan's like, yes, I know what you mean. It doesn't
I
make
don't
any sense to me either. Therefore, I have to share the pain.
Exactly.
It's
Google
probably
Translate.
those idioms are like sayings, right? Like, for example,
not really.
Idioms
the
are
thirsty
words.
bird
not
will
even-
drink water.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow, thank you. That's very enlightening. The thirsty bird drinks the water.
No, at times it's not even some idioms. It's like some flashback. We don't even know if it is flashback or it is some like kind of a fantasy that's going on. And like I have no idea where this came up because it's just like there randomly.
Yes.
And
I call them flashbangs.
Yes. That's very accurate.
Because like
They are
sometimes
very
I'm
diverse.
translating, right? And there's like a flashback scene, but like I try to backtrack. Like he never said this.
You
Yep.
have to make
never
shit up.
Yeah.
I
So
call them
we at
flashbangs.
times put a little note saying, "Hey, we are not sure what this is," but
Yeah, I always feel guilty for that.
no, I put in. Trust me, I put in more notes as well with all the chapters. Because when I edit, I try to look at the chapter from a reader's perspective rather than. And since I don't know Korean, I don't have. Or even if I have access to the raws, I can't read them. So I try to think from, hey, can they relate to what is written here? And if I cannot, then I'm pretty sure they cannot.
Which is a great point that you just made, because sometimes I will be reading our translated chapters and, I understand Korean. So my brain kind of translates the English back into Korean as I'm reading. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Whereas someone who's like fully doesn't know Korean, they'd be like, whoa, that does not make any kind of a sense. Idioms are the worst.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Momo. Which one of these two has more of those?
That's a
And
very
it never gets each
non-sensitive question there, Tokki.
I will pass this. I am learning from Dan, and and
No,
being polite.
you haven't learned properly. What you have to do is give a proper non-answer.
Just give me the first letter of their name.
No, I'm not doing that.
Damn,
But yeah,
okay,
I'll
Momo.
say one thing. I'll say one thing. Even without looking at who has translated what, if you give me a chapter, I can tell who has translated that.
Oh,
That's true because everyone has a
That
very
sounds
distinct
scary,
style
though.
of
Yeah.
writing.
hmm
Well, well, it's easier once you get to know the person you're working with, right? I mean, if I get a new novel after this one, it will take me time to actually start getting used to the writing style of the translator. But
Mhm.
if at all by chance, if I'm paired with either Open Book Home or Dan, I'll know what to expect, so it will be easier for me.
So my
That's
I mean,
editor
everyone.
Vila,
What?
my editor
Mm-hmm.
Vila,
Oh, I love
she
her.
actually told me
She's
something
great.
because she edits really really fast, and I asked
Mhm.
her like, "How do you do that?" And she was like, "Oh, it's because I kind of know your pattern now, so I know like
Yep,
where you do things wrong, and it
yep.
feels like a video game. Like she can
Yep,
just like
Oh.
type away and
I
yeah."
totally get what she's saying. Yeah. So I look at whose chapter it is, and I know what to look for.
Yeah, she did tell me that.
Oh yeah, that does feel scary.
I mean, before like turnitin.com, teachers could generally tell if you were like plagiarizing something because the writing was off.
Hmm.
Yep.
Like even for us on our like the manager side, if we're reading a chapter, we'd be like, hold up, this does not sound like or the translator's normal work, and we'd be like checking it against something else. Like, someone's got to redo this because it's not their work. Too much of a machine translation.
So I'm not sure if you guys are aware of Yoj's background.
Oh.
You want to tell them, Yojj?
So I have my master's in forensic linguistics.
Okay.
Which is, I like to just very briefly describe it as a language detective. And, you know, everyone's language is very distinct and different based on someone's vocabulary and, you know, linguistic patterns. You can tell whether, like, with geography, age, education, you could kind of like tell all of that based on someone's
Oh,
language.
that's
Mhm.
so interesting.
Yeah.
I can add something. So my background is cyber forensics, and
Okay, we have detectives here. I'm gonna get out of here.
but even in cyber forensics, there are multiple things. Like you could be all technical, you could be like go on the psychological side or something like that. And what Yojj describes is actually done before. I know there used to be one colleague who was doing typing patterns on keyboard to find if the person behind the keyboard was the actual one or not. So it's just the same way. They would look at an email and be like, "Hey, this is not the way the email is written by this person." So it was someone
Right.
impersonating them.
Interesting.
So if you guys ever think about asking your friends to translate the chapter for you, oh, you're in for
Think
a
again.
surprise.
Think again.
Oh, or maybe I've been deceiving you all along. Maybe it wasn't me who was working the past 4 years.
Imagine if Dan has a sweatshop in Canada.
I do. I have
Just
10 5-year-old children who are translating chapters for me all day.
Yo,
Well,
what happened to
whatever you're
sensitivity?
what time they grow up.
Whoa. We don't
We
bring
threw out-
kids in here, okay?
We
don't
threw
bring
that
kids
out
in here.
a long time ago, okay?
Hey,
No,
even I don't touch
Tokki, I've
kids,
noticed
okay?
something. Dan has two settings. Very sensitive with his words, very careful, or all filters are off.
I have a professional and a personal setting, okay?
Okay. Okay. Alrighty, then let us start wrapping things up. Let's go to our Would You Rather corner. Your question is from episode 9, Sin Coco's Would You Rather. Let me get this played for you guys. Where's my play button?
Would you rather walk around dressed in a bunny costume for the rest of your life in every situation? Your wedding bunny costume, a funeral bunny costume,
What the
like the biggest, every interview for the rest of your life, bunny costume. And like not like one of those like cheap shitty like Halloween like $2 Halloween costumes. I'm not talking about like a full on like bunny, like anatomically bunny correct bunny costume for the rest of your life. Or would you rather have to like drag yourself on your forearms everywhere you go for the rest of your life? Those are your only two options. Not even bear crawl. You can't use your legs. It's just your arms.
You guys heard that, right?
Yes.
All right. So which one would you guys pick?
I have questions in that question.
Me too.
Oh no question, no answers.
Just an answer.
I can't give an answer without clarifying.
Okay, just ask away.
So is it like the entirety of you is going to be a bunny, including your face?
Yep.
Yes.
And
Is
are you
that
judged?
instead anatomically correct? Like you're just a bunny.
But then
But,
how
like,
will they
human
know?
size.
And then are you going to be just a normal bunny with a like fully functional brain, like a human functional brain?
Oh, you're just
I mean, it's
wearing
still
a
you.
It's a
costume.
costume,
You're just
right? Yeah.
wearing the costume.
Yep.
Okay.
You
Like a little
guys heard of
mascot
that
costume.
guy? You guys heard of that guy who paid like I don't know, like 100 grand or something to turn himself into a dog?
Cat? Or I saw the
What?
cat one. There was a
I
cat
have
person.
no idea what you're
There was
talking about.
one guy, he paid like I don't know, it was like 100 grand or something. He got himself like a real proper dog costume, and like cuz his dream was to be a dog.
All dogs are nice.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't know if you want to pay all that money to become basically a dog.
I mean,
Momo.
think about it. Like you go somewhere and just lift a leg,
But
And
you're
no
still
one-
No,
human.
but then you're human
You're
size.
human.
You're not
but
actual dog.
still, no one is going to be saying
Wait, what's
anything.
human
You-
sized?
The dog is the dog.
Yeah.
Are we saying the human is basically?
A dog. Yeah,
Dog?
human who looks like a
Okay,
dog. Looks
okay,
very
okay.
similar to a dog.
Isn't that what you
no,
meant,
no,
Tokki?
no, because Momo was like, you can go anywhere and just lift your leg, and Yojj was like, no, but you're human size, and I'm like, what human size?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
no,
man.
that confused me as well. So I'm like,
All
okay.
right. Are we discussing
it could
average
just be
here?
Longer, maybe. I don't know.
Dan, you got me right.
I got you. I understand
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
I had to make sure.
I understood. We're not answering the question, are we?
No.
Can I ask some questions too? Very.
Yeah,
we
sure,
probably
go ahead.
wait.
I think it's
Oh,
very
okay.
reasonable questions.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So for the bunny costume, are you like? Is it regardless? Like, so are you always like your temperature is always regulated? Then you're not going to be
Huh?
cold or hot. Like, because if you're in a bunny costume,
Do I need to get Sin on board? And be like, hey, Sin, call a friend. We have to like
I
help Sin.
because like if you think about it, I live where it drops down to -50, right? If I'm walking
Uh-huh.
around in a
That's
bunny costume, I'm gonna die. If it's a thin bunny
True.
costume,
Not
Wait,
if you
Fahrenheit
got
or
those heat
Celsius?
tech from Uniqlo.
but you can't because you're dressed in a bunny costume, right?
Wait, Dan, Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
-50.
He's in Canada, so it's always metric.
Yeah.
Oh,
Only there's only one country in the world who uses Fahrenheit.
That's cold. I
Yep,
don't like
and
that's freezing temperature. I mean,
It-
like
it
that's
is very
no,
cold.
trust me, it is almost the same because after a certain point, both the Fahrenheit and Celsius, it becomes almost similar.
But it is very
Do you
cold.
like go outside and like still move and like do your everyday activity
but-
in that temperature?
But then I have a question to your answer.
Okay.
Oh, question to your question. Yeah.
Yes, sure. So a question to my question to the question.
I don't think bunnies go out when it's -50 Celsius. You know.
But it's a costume.
See, that's the whole point. Are you becoming a bunny or are
It's
you?
a costume.
Are you
You're
in
a human.
costume? Yeah,
You're a human
exactly.
dressed in a costume that looks like very much like a bunny.
No, he's saying it should be anatomically bunny. So you basically turn into a bunny once you put the costume.
But you're still human.
Apparently.
Okay, then what if your temperature is regulated, like a normal human being wearing a padded jacket or like very
Right.
normal human stuff?
But everyone's gonna see me wearing this costume. I'm assuming that's part of it, and then they're gonna judge me for it, right?
I think they're gonna be judging you either way.
Oh, I guess so.
That
I mean,
was
okay,
mean.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna answer. I'll be a bunny. That's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
I mean, I would rather be a bunny than be pulling myself
Mhm.
everywhere on my hands.
That's crazy. You're gonna get some nasty forearms.
No,
Jacked.
but like, come on, like if you're a bunny,
oh
if
wait,
you're
I remember
if
I
you
asked
choose
about
the
this.
other,
He said that you have to like hop around because you're anatomically
Oh my
correct bunny.
gosh.
So
But
it's
it's
That's
flying, right?
behavioral.
Hopping.
That's not anatomical.
he said
okay,
no
so the
bear
question is, do you
just-
want jacked arms or jacked calves?
Ooh, both. Can I be both? A rabbit who crawls around.
Is that a kangaroo then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obi, do you have an answer?
I think I would just stay indoors.
What? You want to stay indoors?
I would just stay indoors. Like if I'm either forced to go out everywhere as a bunny or everywhere on my forearms, I'm just gonna stay indoors all the time. What's
Okay, I
what's
mean,
the difference then?
you could get everything delivered nowadays, so that's a fair
Yeah.
point.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Imagine the delivery guy would get the shock of his life. A bunny like opens the door and takes the food.
That's
What about you, Yojj?
Didn't I answer this last time? I think I said I'd rather be a bunny, and then Sin's answer shot me down.
Well,
Oh,
what
no,
was their
like-
answer?
They haven't heard it, you know.
Oh, I want to be a bunny. I don't want to crawl everywhere. Like I'm like way too low to the ground. Then like
Yeah, I mean, hopping sounds not bad, right?
yeah. I don't want to
I,
be like.
I would choose the
um,
latter. I would choose to crawl.
Alrighty, so back to our topic. So now that we've answered Sin's would you rather question with a whole bunch of leading questions to it, too many questions in my opinion. Do you guys have a would you rather prepared?
That's a great question.
Dan,
I-
stop it with that.
You know what? On that note, let's have Dan go first.
Oh, that's a great
Well,
idea.
we only want one question.
No,
I
have
guess we
one
could pick the
prepared.
best one. We could
I
have all
have
three
one
of you guys
prepared.
share it.
Yeah.
And then we could pick
I-
the best one, or we could go with Momo's.
And I think you both must have read that. So
I have a question. I think it's
Okay.
and just to it kind of relates to language. So would you rather number
Uh-huh.
one be adept at every single language in the world, except the catch is you can only do the very minimum communication, like so like hello, like where's the washroom, how much is it, thank you, like very limited vocabulary, but you can speak every language in the world, but there's no one language that you're proficient at, or just be
Okay.
good at actually no, this is a stupid question, cross that out.
Oh, you you just described like all those backpack travelers.
Yeah, no, but then the thing is you don't have
Wait.
you don't have a native language, or
I
just be
think-
good
I
at one
think
language.
In Korean, we got a term for people like that.
영계국어?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
But, like,
English, it's zero lingual.
okay. So I have a question for this question. Which language which language do you think in?
Wait,
Like,
Momo,
since
that's
you
not.
have-
Wait, this question is for Dan's question, or this question is a
Yes,
would you rather
for
question? Okay.
for Dan's question.
Which
I
question
mean,
do I think in? Which language do I
like,
think in?
yeah, I mean, if you have very limited vocab, do you even have enough capacity to think?
That's a great question.
You know, I have a question to your question now, Momo.
We're never gonna end.
I have a question to your question,
Yeah,
Momo.
yeah, please, yeah, go ahead.
What language do deaf people think in?
Oh,
Hmm.
let's ask ChatGPT.
It's extremely interesting question. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they visualize it.
Yeah, I think there was a study done where that shows like only like a certain percentage of people actually have like a mental narration in their head. Other people just think like when we think our thoughts, like we like picture people like actually saying the words inside their head, but only a certain portion of people actually do that. Other people say they don't have any mental voice at all, and that was just like
Interesting.
weird. Like, what does that? Yeah, how does that actually work? But that's what they found.
I always talk to myself in my head, so, and even in my dreams. So
Do you actually like talk to yourself, or do you like think to
Like,
yourself
Yeah.
and like
good morning,
images.
Momo, to yourself.
Do you argue with yourself? Do you argue with
Yeah,
yourself?
all the time.
No,
Like,
I don't think that's right. No,
I
that is
scold
right.
myself. Yeah, I scold myself if I feel like something's going off or something.
Imagine if
And
Momo
don't-
drops something and she goes like in her head, "What are you doing? I don't know. I slipped, okay?"
No, but that's okay
Yeah, I
because
mean,
I'm a
don't
good
you guys
person.
do that? I thought that was pretty
No, we
normal.
don't. No, we don't.
No, I know. Sometimes I talk to myself. I don't know if I will go to that extent, but yeah, I talk to myself.
I mean, I think I critique myself a lot. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But the
No,
funny
but
thing
I
is,
I
so
understand what you mean because
Mhm.
I know someone who's exactly like you. Like
Oh,
I have a
okay.
friend who's exactly like you, and she's very expressive and she likes to read and write poems.
Okay, that's one of the things. I don't read poems, but I'm these days I'm making some.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you read your own?
So she was like,
Yeah.
if she doesn't write things down, she feels like she's gonna go crazy because there's too many voices in her head.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
I'm
called
not-
schizophrenia.
I'm
That's
no,
called
I'm not to that
schizophrenia.
She's
extent.
schizophrenic, yeah.
She is
Yeah,
schizophrenic.
I'm not to that extent. Yeah, no.
That is. Mm.
Wait, we've gotten completely off track. I need a proper question from you guys, not a question that will lead to an entire set of questions. So Dan, your question is out. Momo, go with your
What
question.
do you want me to read that? I can. I already have it prepared. Let me see.
Yes, let's go for it. Momo,
All
let's
right.
go with your question.
All right. Suppose you had a second chance to redo things, but the thing is, would you be born and as the opposite gender but enjoy the perks of being the young master or young lady? So basically have everything easy, or would you prefer your preferred gender but have a life full of struggles?
Where do I sign up?
I think that's a pretty easy answer.
I think
Where
so
do I
I
too.
sign
want
up?
an easy life.
Mhm.
Well,
Let's do it.
Easy
well,
life.
yeah, I know, but for some reason, well, I came up with this one because our readers were so angry at the Eugene being dressed up as a woman when he was going undercover. So I thought I might just do a gender bender instead.
I know my answer. I want an easy life because
Me
I'm
too.
lazy.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
We're all
I
lazy
mean,
here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Alrighties then.
Oh wait, you
Thank
guys
you
want to change
what?
genders because like you want an easy life?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
just
I mean,
cause?
yeah, why not? And
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I have lived.
I
I've
want to
lived as
change
a
the
woman,
genders
so-
for something entirely different.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay, Toki, knowing you, I
Huh.
thought you wouldn't want that.
Oh, I'm so tired. This is so draining.
Oh, let's wrap it up, guys. Let's wrap it up. Thank you
Hey,
guys
Danny.
so much for joining us today.
You-
No, we're not
you
giving
know-
Tokki a chance to derail my topic anymore.
No. We just need to know whether OBW has a question as well, because this was
Oh,
what I
yes.
said.
Oh,
Poor guy,
I'll just do a simple one. Hopefully, this won't prompt any questions. So, like, would you rather go 100 years into the past without anything? So, like, without any technology, like, or just invented foreknowledge, or would you rather go 1,000 into the past, but with any piece of technology that you desire?
Sorry, what was the second part? Dozen years?
Yeah, 1,000 years. Into
1,000
the past.
years. Oh, okay.
Like with any technology, you can have like any.
Just one
You
tech
can have like a
or-
computer that never runs out of battery. Something like
And
that.
we can translate there.
But just one technology or multiple? Because if you just take a computer with no internet connection, it would be a disaster.
No, that's true. I'll make it more simple then. Just like you go 1,000 to past, but you got like a library full of technology. So
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
So you can
I
read
mean,
so like a
Momo,
simple
if we're
question.
going back in past, clearly there's some kind of magic in play. I'm sure we'll have Wi-Fi somehow. That's what I'm
except
gonna
no one
believe.
else to
Not-
have Wi-Fi with, just by yourself.
You know what's gonna
That's fine.
happen
That's all
like
my Wi-Fi.
1,000 years ago if you go with a computer?
What?
She's a witch. Get her.
That's killer, burner.
You really think people are gonna worship you? I'm like, oh, it's a god, it's a god. Nah.
I mean,
He's a
maybe.
witch burner.
Let me live in my fantasy, Tokki. Stop it.
I mean, it depends on how charismatic it can be. Like, can either be like pretend to be a saint, or then you get turned into a witch.
What's
Yeah.
stopping me from just living in the mountains with my laptop? Just reading on my
Resources.
laptop.
Yojj, you know what's stopping you?
What?
Because you can kind of technically do that right now too, you know? You don't
Yeah,
have to
but,
go
like-
1,000 years ago.
That's true. No Instagram, no YouTube,
But I have internet.
but no content. No Reddit posts.
I thought I was bringing my
imagine-
Wi-Fi from the past.
Imagine
future.
if
Isn't
you're
that
connected
called-
to the modern day internet,
Yeah,
but you're in 1,000
but like
years
in the
ago,
past.
and
That's
you
what I was
start
imagining.
posting like videos on TikTok, you'd be like top influencer, you know?
Yeah. See, look at that. Tokki's on my wavelength. That's what I was imagining.
But no one else
I
has.
would still bring my
technology.
modern.
Selfie with
I
John
would be
the Ark
bringing my
before she gets
modern
burned on the
Wi-Fi.
stake.
Stop.
You mean to say she's going to take a selfie on the stake just
Yo,
before being burned?
OBW. Hey, Bookworm.
Yeah.
If
Go ahead.
your question was like 2,000 plus years ago, you know you're gonna be like a top influencer because you can take a selfie with Jesus.
Oh man. This sounds like
That's
one
a
of those
good
cancel
question.
questions.
Our next team's gonna get 2 questions to answer then. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Any last words you guys would like to say to our readers?
Thanks for enjoying Damn Reincarnation, and I look forward to seeing you in the next book.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey, keep reading.
Yeah, keep reading. Yeah.
Any last politically savvy sounding words, Dan?
Thank you, all the readers, for always enjoying mine and other novels. Please continue to enjoy them as you do, and have a very happy year.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile, Kyle's was use karma.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Alright.
Just a big
Thanks for
fan.
having
Thank
us.
you for having
Next
us.
week on Wuxiaworld's Tea House. Okay, now you guys have got me really curious. Can you kind of give me a summary, maybe even spoil it for me on what makes this novel so interesting and different?
I think what I like about this novel, it's different to the other Wuxia novels in a way that it incorporates a lot of the modern concepts as well, and
Oh.
also it takes interesting ideas and concepts from other popular let's say animes or movies, and like kind of incorporate into the story, which I think is pretty.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's taking parts of Pacific Rim.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Actually, I was reading a couple of chapters in the beginning, and I was like, it kind of does feel like Pacific Rim, especially like the first five paragraphs in chapter 1.
hmm Yeah, if you keep reading, I think you'll find like other elements, right, from like different, like Joash was saying, from other animes or other films.
Thanks for joining us on Wuxiaworld's Tea House. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit the follow button to stay updated with our latest releases. If you want more tea, hop over to our social media or Discord, or send us an email if you want to spill tea. We'll be back every first and third Friday of the month. Check out our website, wuxiaworld.com. See you in the next episode. Bye.